delivering a heavy agenda.
We've listened.
The NDP government is sharing a long list of promises in its latest throne speech. Also tonight, a long-awaited makeover.
The building has fallen into disrepair.
What's being done to restore Thunderbird House. And later, 8-second showdowns. When you can watch some of the best bull riders in the country.
The last 2 years have taught us this. Not only can we get through difficult things by working together, but that together incredible things are possible as Manitoba.
New promises of patient safety, a supervised consumption site, and laws around dangerous weapons. Good evening and thanks for joining us. The NDP government made major promises in its throne speech today. It includes a machete ban, no more sick notes, and another attempt to create a supervised consumption site. CTV's Jeff Keel reports.
In this year's throne speech, the Premier is trying again to establish a supervised drug consumption site.
This facility is ready to go.
The last one planned for Disraeli Freeway in Point Douglas was scrapped after public backlash to the location. Now, the province says one will be up and running in January, somewhere west of Main Street.
We've listened, and we want to ensure that people are getting the supports that they need in and around where people are using.
The Premier says there is a bit more consultation to do on the new location, but critics accuse him of ramming this new plan through.
We have been speaking out against a supervised consumption site, so when the Premier doesn't get his way, he just goes around the rules.
The speech was big on health care promises to eliminate sick notes for absences up to 7 days, offer a digital health card option, a new patient portal for lab results, allow pharmacists to provide birth control, and establish new laws to create a patient charter and mandatory OT starting with nurses and require a set patient staffing ratio. The Premier is confident his government has hired enough new healthcare workers to pull this off, saying it's now up to health authorities and hospitals.
We're going to say, we've given you the staff, now you have to solve this problem.
I think this is really encouraging with that, concern of, okay, well, what are the details of this?
Other highlights include a study to try and find new ways to save money on groceries, new rules to stop unfair rent increases. A Manitoba company will take over the Park Pass contract from a Texas firm, a livestock inspection program for beef operations, a northern airport scanner, and a ban on dangerous weapons like machetes in parks and buses.
Banning of weapons in public spaces is something that I know I and our council will absolutely support.
And there was what was missing from the speech. The Winnipeg Chamber of Commerce says they didn't dislike anything that was in there, but
if action is the currency of government, our economy got a little shortchanged in the throne speech.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Canoe also committed to no new tax hikes in the spring budget. The Premier says it is a very narrow path now to balance the books, so they will have to walk a fine line. We have more coverage on the promises being made in today's throne speech later in the show. A man is dead after being shot by an RCMP officer today. RCMP say officers arrived at a home in Saging First Nation around 6:30 this morning. The service says officers found a man holding a knife. He was shot after what RCMP described as an encounter. The 29-year-old was taken to hospital but later died. RCMP say the officers involved were wearing body cameras and the footage will be turned over to the Independent Investigation Unit of Manitoba. An iconic building left in disrepair at Higgins and Main is on track to get a facelift. Thunderbird House will be getting a major revamp thanks to a $2.7 million federal grant. As CTV's Harrison Shin explains, the announcement is bringing healing to some Indigenous community members.
New hope is on the way to the Circle of Life Thunderbird House.
Everybody in the office was pretty ecstatic. Yeah, over a third of our employee workforce is Indigenous.
Director Peter Parkman's company Arrow will take on the repair of this building's copper roof. What started as a gathering space for the Indigenous community 25 years ago has become an eyesore at Main and Higgins.
It deteriorated due to people stealing the copper from the roof during the pandemic. So that's the reason why the building has fallen into disrepair.
Thunderbird House was taken over by community advocates in May this year who said they wanted to restore its original purpose of cultural healing, gathering, and unity.
We've heard from members of the community that we didn't think we're aware of what was going on, and they've reached out and expressed their absolute joy that work is finally getting done.
Michael Red at Champaign once said in his blog, quote, "The health of Indigenous people in Winnipeg can be seen in the upkeep and maintenance of the building." He hopes for unity going forward.
I think the next step for the Thunderbird House is for both of the groups that have been active at the Thunderbird House, both at the board and at the Occupy level, both have opportunities to have their voices heard and their concerns raised.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Don't be alarmed if you get an alarm on your phone tomorrow. You should hear that sound at 1:55 in the afternoon. It's because the province is testing its Alert Ready system. Officials say the alert will be sent to televisions, radios, and compatible wireless devices. However, it warns not every cell phone will get the alert due to compatibility issues or cell tower coverage. The Manitoba government says the test is needed to ensure it will work efficiently during an actual emergency. Today, computers, video game consoles, and cell phones are just an everyday part of our lives. You might even be using one right now. However, that wasn't the case just a few decades ago. That's why two Winnipeggers are creating the Manitoba Computer and Gaming Museum. It's a nonprofit dedicated to classic computers and video game console history. Exhibits, classes, and hands-on experiences will teach younger generations about the vintage machines. Right now, the museum doesn't have a permanent home, but organizers hope to open one in the next couple of years. But they need your help growing their archive first.
We have an open call for donations for those computers that happen to be in your basement, happen to be just kind of sitting around doing nothing. That computer has a story to tell, and the Manitoba Computer and Gaming Museum hopes to tell that story.
The museum plans to have more pop-up events in the weeks to come. For information, check out mcgmuseum.ca. And here's our first look at tonight's weather. It's currently 2 degrees, cloudy, lighter winds at about 17 kilometers an hour out of the south. Pressure is dropping and humidity is at 69%. Tonight in Winnipeg, we are expecting temperatures to drop to that freezing mark of 0 degree with some lighter winds. There is a low chance of showers or flurries tonight. Tomorrow morning starts off mostly cloudy for us with 1 degree. However, that chance of flurries will return in the afternoon.
Do you put a price on safety? I mean, safety has to come first.
Later, changes are coming to Carberry. The $100 million plan for an intersection with a tragic past. Next. A wave of relief tonight in Carberry. An overpass will be built at the intersection where a tragic crash killed 17 people. The Premier confirmed this during today's speech from the throne. CTV's Joseph Bernacki shows us how residents are reacting.
Every time I go out and cross that road or at any time, I think of that bus.
Carberry's Robert Goodridge spent 35 years working at a maintenance job in town. He says he nearly had a collision at this intersection while operating a snowplow. Goodridge is hopeful an overpass will reduce the number of accidents going forward.
I came close to cutting the top off a car with that plow, and it scared me pretty bad.
On June 15th, 2023, a semi-truck and a seniors bus collided here, killing 17 people and injuring 8. This incident prompted calls for changes at the junction of the Trans-Canada Highway and Provincial Highway 5. Calls were heated Tuesday in the provincial throne speech as the province announced plans for an overpass.
This intersection is different now than any other intersection in Manitoba because of the loss of life and how sad it was to see those seniors passing away. It means that we had that extra responsibility to listen to community voices on this.
The Premier says the project could cost north of $100 million. Carberry Mayor Ray Muirhead says that's justified. People in the community are still talking about the tragic loss of life to this day.
Do you put a price on safety? I mean, safety has to come first. If there's anything, they didn't pass away in vain, those people. I mean, it gives rise to what's being done today. So hopefully there will be countless people saved from this overpass.
He says the overpass will have safety benefits beyond the town.
I think it's going to be a major safety gain for us, for everybody that travels that highway, so we're happy about it.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Premier says Carberry and Dauphin will be consulted on the design plans. No timeline has been announced. The throne speech also included a special commitment for Winnipeg High School. A new scoreboard and bleachers will be installed at Sisler High School in memory of Darius Hartshorn. The 17-year-old football player passed away in October, several days after sustaining a serious neck injury during a game. The province says the upgrades will support his family, team, and school community. A driver was airlifted to hospital with serious injuries following a two-vehicle crash in the Whiteshell area. RCMP were called just before 6 p.m. yesterday to Highway 1 at Falcon Creek Road, just west of Falcon Lake. One driver, a 68-year-old man, was transported to hospital by Stars Air ambulance. A 40-year-old woman who was driving the other vehicle sustained minor injuries. The crash shut down the eastbound lanes of the Trans-Canada Highway for several hours Monday evening into the early hours of this morning. The crash is under investigation. A group representing Manitoba consumers is raising concerns over Manitoba Hydro's request for a nearly 11% rate hike over the coming years.
Overall, the Consumers Coalition believes that these rate increases will be unnecessarily hard for many Manitobans.
The Interest Law Centre is representing the Consumers Coalition at public hearings over the rate application. The hearings began Monday. Hydro is asking for a 3.5% increase in each of the next 3 years. It means the average natural gas customer would be paying an additional $137 a year. For electric heat customers, it's another $362 per year.
Our client's view is that Hydro is essentially asking Manitobans to trust them when it files an application that shows, in our client's view, not enough efforts to reduce costs internally and relies heavily on placeholder budgets for significant capital projects in the future.
In its lengthy petition to the Public Utilities Board, Hydro says the increases are necessary due to drought and low water levels, aging infrastructure, and to maintain the debt ratio. In an email statement, a Hydro spokesperson says the utility strongly believes its proposal enables Hydro to meet its mandate to provide safe, reliable and affordable energy while meeting the future needs of Manitobans. The spokesperson adds anyone struggling to pay their bills can request payment arrangements. People living in Morden will be placed under a precautionary boil water advisory next week. The city says the move is necessary because of work being done on a new pipe at the Morden Water Treatment Plant. Starting Monday at 8 in the morning, people are asked to boil any water that will be used for drinking, preparing food, or brushing teeth. You're being asked to bring the water to a rolling boil for at least a minute. It should look like what was on your screen there. The city says the advisory will remain in effect for up to several weeks. During this time, officials are asking residents to conserve water as much as possible. It will soon be a lot faster and easier to visit Europe. WestJet is expanding its global connections from our city with new direct flights. Starting this June, the airline will provide a weekly flight from Winnipeg to Reykjavik, Iceland. In addition, WestJet is also creating 2 new domestic routes for our city. A 3 times weekly service between Winnipeg and London, Ontario, and a weekly year-round flight from Winnipeg to Cancun. The City of Winnipeg says it's making it easier to file development permits. Beginning today, you can visit a new online permit portal for applications such as subdivisions, rezoning, variance, and conditional use. You'll also be able to view the status of permits, submit documents, and make payments. Some applications still need to be submitted by email, such as parking management plans, design reviews, and alignments, but the city says those will be available online by the end of the year. Top bull riders from across the country will soon buck their way into Brandon. Canada's Professional Bull Riders Cup Series is coming to the Wheat City next spring at Assiniboine Credit Union Place. On May 1st and 2nd, fans will witness 8-second rides as courageous athletes face off against their 1,800-pound opponents. This will be the only event in Manitoba as part of the Cup Series next season. Tickets for the event go on sale this Friday at Ticketmaster.ca. You'll have more chances to laugh at a very popular outdoor comedy festival in Winnipeg. The Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, a 3-day event in Assiniboine Park, has added afternoon shows to its weekend dates. This includes American comedian Jeff Arcuri and Emma Willman, who will take the stage on July 18th. The following afternoon will include Adam Ray's Dr. Phil Live and performances from Big J. Okerson and Donald Rollins. Afternoon show tickets go on sale this Friday. The curtain is almost ready to rise on Manitoba Opera's 53rd season. Its opening performance is one of the greatest operas ever written, Tosca. This is footage from 2010, the last time this production was performed by Manitoba Opera. Tosca is a political thriller with a story featuring lovers, jealousy, and betrayal. You'll have at least 3 chances to see Tosca on Saturday, November 22nd, Wednesday, November 26th, and on Friday, the 28th. For tickets and information, go to mbopera.ca. A new contest is giving each Winnipeg snowplow a name, how your kids can pitch in. And here's today's almanac. Cloudy and cool. We'll show you when the mercury will plummet. Still to come in your Skywatch forecast. Tonight's Skywatch photo comes to us thanks to Isla. This one shows us Tobacco Creek. You can send your weather photos to us here at winnipegweather@ctv.ca. Now, taking a look over the next couple of days, things are a little warmer. However, we do have a low chance of some precipitation across much of Manitoba, actually. Low chance of that happening tonight here in Winnipeg. However, a little more likely late in the afternoon tomorrow. We will be seeing quite a cloudy day for most of Manitoba, actually, to start us off tomorrow. We will be seeing in the afternoon, as mentioned, a chance of some rain here in Winnipeg and potentially northwestern Ontario as well, although that will happen a little later in the afternoon. At the same time, in northwestern Manitoba, we'll watch this system potentially bring with it some precipitation, potentially dropping some light flurries in parts of northern Manitoba. We'll keep an eye on that one as the day goes on. However, not likely to be heavy at all. We will be seeing this system push out as the weekend approaches. At the same time, things will be quite clear on Thursday in southern Manitoba, including here in Winnipeg. However, things will get cool soon. We'll chat more about that one in a moment. Right now, it is currently 2 in Winnipeg, 4 in Steinbach, 1 over in Swan River. Further north right now, we are seeing it is currently -3 in Thompson and -4 in both Gillam and Churchill. Churchill's low tonight will reach -9 as things get cool for you. Tomorrow, -8 is the high, with a chance of flurries dropping in Thompson tomorrow. -3 is your high there. We will be seeing a foggy night tonight in western Manitoba, including in Flin Flon and the Pas, and a little south. Tomorrow, though, that chance of flurries you saw just a moment ago on the map, -1 is the expected high tomorrow in the Pas. Again, fog tonight in western Manitoba, including Brandon, where temperatures will reach its coolest of 1 degree tonight. Tomorrow, 3 degrees as the high. Cool, however, still a little warmer than our seasonal average. We will be seeing 1 degree as the expected high tomorrow in Swan River. Here in Winnipeg tonight, cloudy with temperatures right at that freezing mark for us. 5 is the high tomorrow with those clouds hanging around. Kenora tonight, -1 degree as your expected low. 3 is the high tomorrow with those chances of flurries across northwestern Ontario that we saw a moment ago as well. Taking a look over the next 7 days, we are seeing warmish, relatively speaking, warm temperatures, including on Saturday with 5 degrees as the high. However, temperatures will plummet next week for us. Winnipeg snowplows will soon have a little more personality. Kids in Winnipeg will want to put their thinking toques on. Mayor Scott Gillingham says they'll be asked to name the city's snowplows in a new contest. More details are expected in the coming weeks. The best curlers in the country are in town for the Canadian Curling Club Championships. Coming up, we'll show you what's happening on and off the ice. Some of the top curlers in the country are in Winnipeg this week for the 2025 Canadian Curling Club Championships. The event at Winnipeg's Granite Curling Club features both men's and women's club championship teams from each province. On the men's side, Manitoba is represented by Derek Anderson's rink from Gimli, and Lindsay Workington's team from Fort Garry Curling Club is on the women's side.
This is phenomenal for our club and the community. Like I said, we haven't hosted a national championship in Winnipeg of this scale in a while. They're pretty rare. So whenever we get the chance, it's amazing. And we have a lot of our members that are going to come and watch it. We have a team of 100+ volunteers that are making this event go round.
The championships run all week, wrapping up with the final Sunday. The club is also hosting some entertainment each night, including live music and comedians. You can find tickets and live scoring by visiting curling.ca. The Winnipeg Jets received a warm welcome at home tonight after playing a 6-game stretch on the road.
Pick up and earned a lot of trouble. Chased down by Lowry, back to the line. Pionk is locked and loaded. He gives it to the corner. Niederreiter. Lowry scores!
Winnipeg Jets captain Adam Lowry and Neil Pionk both scored their first goal of the season in tonight's match against the Columbus Blue Jackets. It was also Mark Scheifele's 898th game, the most played in franchise history. The final score tonight was Jets 5, Jackets 2. Fans returned to Canada Life Centre Friday night for a matchup against the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drop is at 7. Newly re-signed Bombers head coach Mike O'Shea addressed the media for the first time today since the club announced he's back for another 3 seasons.
There's obviously a whole pile of reasons, but we built something pretty damn special here, so you'd like to continue that. The season didn't work out the way we wanted, but I think there's still a lot of growth to be had.
There was speculation Coach O'Shea might have been looking to go elsewhere, particularly Toronto, after the Argos head coach left for Ottawa. Without elaborating, O'Shea says he was exploring an opportunity during his talks with the Argos, but ultimately he says his family has carved out a home for themselves here in Winnipeg, and he still sees plenty of potential with the blue and gold.
Well, it's a great sporting city. The fans are unbelievable. I've always said this, highly educated. They show up in droves. Obviously, we set an attendance record for our club, and all the sellouts, the support you get around the community is phenomenal.
The coming season will be O'Shea's 12th with Winnipeg. He has a franchise record of 117 wins and 77 losses. O'Shea has led the Bombers to 5 straight Grey Cup appearances between 2019 and 2024 and 2 titles in 2019 and 2021. Coming up, a 200-pound gesture, why this incredible gingerbread structure was built to be destroyed, and we'll break down tomorrow's forecast next.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
We will be seeing a mainly cloudy day for us tomorrow in Winnipeg with the lighter winds. However, we do have a low chance of showers for us here in the city. That'll begin potentially in the afternoon for us. Warm, though, with temperatures reaching about 5 degrees. You could call this an ambitious gingerbread creation. This is Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel, made up of 100% edible gingerbread. Edmonton's Duchess Bake Shop is behind the creation, debuting it at the All Is Bright Festival over the weekend. It's part of a fundraiser with iHuman Youth Society to collect warm clothing donations for at-risk youth. People can drop off items and enter a raffle to win a demolition party, destroying the hotel with a wrecking ball. And that is it for us tonight. Thank you for watching, and good night.